Hey everybody, it's Daphne with Laura Entertainment. We are sitting down with a very special person today. Syed, Ali Raza, Usama, correct? I
Yes,
got
that
it?
is correct. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, that is correct.
I'm excited about that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out before we do it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is bit of a confusion actually, and the confusion has nothing to do with America. Even in my own country, they're puzzled and they're confused because the Osama part is it's not my name. It's actually what my mother calls me. And since my mother is like she's a living legend, she's a writer, poetess, screenwriter, playwright, thinker, novelist, and my whole family is actually into entertainment industry, mainstream entertainment industry. And she calls me Osama is just like a pet name or a nickname or something she calls me. So the entire world has started calling me Osama, and it doesn't have anything to do with my legal name. My name is only Sayyid Ali Raza. Now half of the world calls me Osama and they don't know what my name is. So the funny thing is, even in Pakistan, when they used to write my name, the television shows, and they have always written my name wrong because they don't know what my name is.
They just throw extra names in there.
Yeah, yeah, Sayyid, Usama, Raza, Ali, and they say, what's your name? It's Sayyid Ali Raza. So you're the first person actually who has taken my entire name correctly at the first time. So I appreciate it very
Hell
well.
yeah, I am stoked about that. That's awesome. People get confused about stuff, because you never know. And I mean, there's been times where I've had people on where I know I was gonna screw their name up. So I'm just like, okay, you're just gonna have to do it.
Also, a couple of days back, I was discussing with my business partner, and I said, "Bro, our parents had no idea about Instagram or TikTok, and they did not named us right. So, like 50, 60 years down the lane, our names will be Big Bash 22. Get ready for that."
I don't even really know like TikTok. I don't get on TikTok, and I don't even know if I could figure that one out, or, as far as uploading, because I just don't see the point. I mean, I get it with the little kids wanting to do TikTok. That's fine for them, but I'm an
Definitely,
adult.
TikTok is very dangerous. Dangerous in a good way, I'm saying, because when I came to America, not even when I came to America, for the past 10 years, even though that I was working in the mainstream industry in Pakistan,
Mhm.
feature films and television shows, our television actually dominates the region. It's very funny, but our television actually dominates the region. So Pakistan makes very good television shows in its own uh, stylistic way, so that India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, uh, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, all of they actually watch our TV shows, and we are talking about 2 billion people
Yeah.
concentrated there. 2 billion people.
Wow.
Funny thing is, I went on a forced holiday in Sri Lanka, Kandy. I checked in the hotel at 2 a.m., turned on the television, and to my I was shocked to see my own drama dubbed in the local language and it was running on TV. I filmed it as an I recorded on my cell phone and sent it to the producer and said, "This is what I'm checking into." Yeah. So for the longest time, I was watching very keenly the progress of social media. Then came the advertising budget globally shifting on digital media, online presence, and this thing. I have a company here in US in California. Luckily, we registered a company called Beyond Magic Films. We are into ad films, music video, and branded content for social media.
Mhm.
We make things for Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and your website. TikTok, I haven't figured it out yet because TikTok is very ruthlessly dangerous as a content creator.
Yeah.
You have to have no brainer content, but there is so much brain at the back of it. You know, it's very intelligently wrapped, very intelligently.
See, I don't understand. I mean, like, you know how on Facebook you make those reels and they're like 20 seconds or whatever it is that they put it up. But I guess TikTok, I don't know if you can do full videos, but I know a lot of people who only do, maybe 15 seconds. I don't see a point in 15 seconds for that. I don't get it.
Let me tell you a very funny story. I couldn't find that interview again, but again, I got lazy and I didn't look for it so much so.
Mhm.
I remember the audio and I listened to this, saw this on YouTube.
Yeah,
1964, Stanley Kubrick started his film called 2001: Space Odyssey. It took him 4 years to finish. 1968, it got released. On the premiere, Stanley Kubrick was asked a bunch of questions by a journalist who was recording it, and I heard that audio. And to my surprise, he asked, "What's the future of the writers and the concept and the script and the film and cinema that you see?" And I was shocked to hear that these words coming out from his mouth. He said, "I certainly don't see a future for the novelist in the cinema. I don't see a future even of the screenwriters. But I am very keenly observing what these copywriters from the advertising world are doing. I
yeah.
think that's where the future lies." And I was amazed to see this, that that guy in 1968 had the vision and he was anticipating that what you can say, how you can tell the story in 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 60 seconds, what the advertising world was about to do at that time and doing it. That's what the future was. And I highly believe that today the feature length film is of more or less 90 minutes. I think it will come down to 40 minutes or 45 minutes because nobody has such concentration span left. In like next 20 years or 30 years or 40 years, the
Yeah.
narrative, the film will be like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, maximum an hour.
That's gonna suck. I mean, if that really does happen, that will, I think, in my own opinion, I think that'll suck because you always need more time, but then you're gonna have like it's almost like the television series when everybody thinks they're 30 minutes and they're like 21 minutes, and it's because the commercials, they have to put the commercials in, of course, but they're still making, even like the mini series, The Offer. I just binge watched that yesterday. And that I see that they probably wanted to make a movie with that in the beginning, but they did, all these little hour segments, which is awesome. And I really think they could have went on with that because it is a good show, but everything's so short, on those days you just want to hang out and watch a movie. You don't want to just sit there for 15 minutes and go through all that to set everything up and then be like, okay, movie's over. It's done.
Yeah. Well, a lot of content is evolving and changing. And honestly speaking, you don't have a fixed definition of what's a film. You
Yeah.
know, an ad is a film, a wedding is a film, a feature length film is a film. So it's like writing on water. It's keep on shifting as the according to the taste and priorities of the audiences. And
Yeah.
also because of the global audience now, everything is online and where people are watching and consuming content from different parts of the world. It's ever so changing, and because of the economic conditions, people don't have so much time now. So they want it fast, they want it now, and they want to decide in the first 5 minutes that they want to watch it or not.
Yeah, and I mean that almost puts everything on the advertising of it, beforehand, before anything goes out, even movies, TV shows, it doesn't matter, music, songs, stuff like that. It seems like the only way that people will figure it out is by the ad and the branding.
Yeah.
And that's why I like what I do because I mean, I do everything. I'm like a basically jack of the spade, basically through all of it because I do writing, I do producing, I do, I run all three of these businesses, and then one of them's entertainment, media, and press. And I like that portion of it too because I get the only way you're going to catch somebody's eye or attention is if you push it out by advertising the hell out of it, but it better be good, if you're going to advertise the hell out of it because you don't want to pay a bunch of money for stuff that, it's not worth a shit,
True.
that's why I've done the stuff the way I do with like the movie I'm doing. And it's just like I knew to push that immediately, push it, and just keep pushing, pushing and pushing and pushing. Because now a lot of people know about the movie. Some people have read that script. Some people, I have not sent the script to, but it got that way because of the way I branded the movie, packaged the movie, and put it out there, you know, and people are interested, but you got to do things, a lot of marketing, advertising. That's huge.
I remember it's like a couple of years back, or like 4 or 5 years back. There's a great actor from India called Amitabh Bachchan. He is the actor who started his career in 1970s, and he have been, through the evolution of the cinema globally and specifically from Bollywood. He's the
Yeah.
same guy who actually did a cameo appearance with the Leonardo DiCaprio in Baz Luhrmann's Great Gatsby. Yeah.
Wow.
So in the New York or somewhere else, he is in the restaurant. He just has one scene with DiCaprio, and it's a cameo appearance. He said very something very interesting. He said in 19 back in the days like 70s, 80s, 90s, he said that back in the days we used to you do a film and then promote the film.
Yeah.
Now I think in late 2000s, I think we promote the film and then go do the movie that we are promoting it. So it's the other way around. So the promotion has taken the large part of the entire business, and I think it's good because your message is actually, as a creator, your message is reaching further and further.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that just makes all, it pays off for everybody in the end because there are people all over the world. And with social media, it's great because everybody all over the world, they already know, like, when's it coming out. I've got people in Canada that are constantly asking me, when is this movie getting made, when is this movie getting made. I'm one person who's been doing, let me see here, 98% of the work, even including with writing with another person. I can only do so much, you know. I'm working on it. That's all I can say, I'm working on it. Calm down, I will get it done, but I mean, advertising is huge. You reach so many people and they're so happy to know about these things, and then when it comes out, you already know if they're that interested, they're going to go and see it, you know.
True. True.
It's
True.
just, it's awesome. So your mom was in the industry. Is that how you got in?
My grandfather, there were three brothers from my mother's side. There were three brothers, and they did not wanted to do the family occupation of medicine. My father, my grandfather's father, or either his uncle, was the first Muslim surgeon in British army, because at that time India was under the occupation of, as in it was colonized by Britain.
Yeah.
So either his father or his father's uncle was the first ever Indian Muslim surgeon in the British army. So these three brothers, they came and they turned around to the family and said, "No, we are not going into medicine," which was a big, oh my God, at that time,
I-
early 1930s or 20s. And they said, "Okay, so what do you want to become?" They said, "We will be, and go in arts, and we're going to be writers." So my mother's father, as in my grandfather from my mother's side, he became a writer. He joined All India Radio at that time because there was no television. And then after 1947's partition of India and Pakistan, they migrated to Pakistan and joined, which later became that part of that section became All India Radio Pakistan rather than from All India Radio. And the other brother of my grandfather, he went to Britain, and he never got married, to no offspring, just one guy. He started working for BBC, and he used to work in BBC, and everybody knew where he is, and he had his own, a little small throne and kingdom and everything. And he became the concept and visualizer, and a literary person from which they used to bounce ideas in Britain for BBC. My grandfather became a scriptwriter and a pronunciation expert for five languages: Arabic, Persian, Hindi, Sanskrit, which is older section of Hindi, and English, for all the actors who used to perform on radio. So every script rehearsal sessions, he used to sit down and he used to correct the diction and performance and the pronunciation for these five languages. And he was not only a poet, he was a writer as well, and he was a script writer. And then my mother started when she was 9 years old in kids programming. She used to be a broadcaster, as in a sound actor, voice actor. When she was 9 year old, she started.
Wow.
And all my my mother, and so our family tradition is very artistic and everything. So all my cousins are actually, so my mother became writer. All our aunts are writer, even who are successful or not successful. They have a knack for arts. They know how to read. They know how to write. They know how to perform. Then I am the third generation in this business. All my cousins are either actors or directors or writers. Even the fourth one is there. There's a filmmaker who is son of my first cousin. He won two international awards for his short films, and others are following and everything. My mother name is in color curriculum in syllabus. So when you go and read the subject Urdu as a language, so in the dramatist, my mother's name is there. That she is a dramatist. She's a writer. She writes television plays and all.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a lot. I mean, Bollywood is coming hard. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see that now. Like my granddaughter, she was watching this little cartoon. It was so cute. It's called Mira, the Royal Detective. And she knew how to do the dance. I mean, she was only 2 and she knew the whole damn dance. And I'm just sitting there watching her like, oh my God. Because it was on YouTube. It was like a cute little, so cute little cartoon. It was so cute.
There's a book that's in India, as in the entire region. You can call it India because the culture is almost the same. There's a book that is more than 5,000 years old, and the book is called Natya Shastra. Natya means performance. Shastra means gospel. You can say. So there's a whole gospel about performance, which actually deals in how big the theater should be, what are the criterion of a good performance or a bad performance. There's something very funny written in that book, and I've read it myself. It says that the performance should not be evaluated on how many awards it won.
Mhm.
Performance should be evaluated by how devotedly it was performed. And I'm talking about this 5,000 years ago. So that entire region is very evolved when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the history portion of it. I mean, that's awesome. A lot of actors nowadays over here in the States anyway, they half of them don't take time to be trained. And you can see it, you know, you can just see it. But then you have the other actors that they do the training, they read all these books, you know, to learn it better. And then you get a better understanding when you're more educated. I think you have a better understanding of things
Yeah.
versus
Yes.
just
And
jumping in.
then and then education uh, can be acquired or attained in any way. It doesn't have to be a dedicated place like a university. It can be anything. Whatever mean or vessel through which you can get yourself educated, that's about it. That's good.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I went to didn't go to college for anything to do with this industry. Anything. And I did 2 years of med, and then I did 4 years of forensic profiling to profile serial killers and rapists and stuff like that. That is the people I wanted to go after. And I stayed on the dean's list, and then I fell into the movie industry after I'd already ran a business, all them years. Didn't have anything to do with what I went to school for. So,
Well,
and I learned on my own. I did. I've went through training and stuff, but I learned on my own by doing,
yeah,
you know.
same here. So, uh, I had to abandon my education because when I was growing up, my parents were struggling financially
Mhm.
humongous amount of struggle. And they both were from, privileged backgrounds in terms of what they saw in life. But that tiny part was very, very rough. And I had to abandon my education because I could not afford the fee of the college and everything. I went to school for business, and I'm glad because I have that entrepreneurial part from that. But then I went into in industry and started as an apprentice. So I started, although that my mom was becoming a rising star, and she was, climbing up the ladder in the industry as a good writer. But I did not took a shortcut of, getting into a production. I started from second assistant director and climbed my way up uh, in the on as in the ladder. And the first time I went inside of a university was to teach direction, production design, and cinematography. That's the first time I saw the official inside of a university. So, how we say is till 12 standard, so we call it school, that is like high school. Then you have to do 4 years of college, which is mandatory. And after 4 years of college, then comes the university. So you go for masters and your bachelor's in the university. We don't call it college. So there's a different way of
Yeah.
calling things there. So I went to the university to teach the students of bachelor's and masters in cinematography and in production design and screenplay writing and direction.
Wow. So it's not like, okay, so it's different over there as far as the See, sometimes I feel like they need to keep the kids in a little longer, like just because you can tell and it will help them in the future. But now in these schools, I just don't get it. They're wanting to take so much stuff that's really important for them to be learning. And they're trying to move in more stuff, that I get it has to do with everyday life stuff, but there's a point in time where they need to learn that in school, and they have parents or role models, mentors, people that can teach them other things, versus what they do in the school. And they really do. I feel like sometimes that they really need to do that. And my daughter, she was in the army, and she was talking about teaching, but she didn't want to teach here in the States. She wanted to go to Japan because she said Japan has a really good school system. And in a way, when I was looking at some videos on Japan, I see a lot because they teach the kids how to, they got to clean before they do anything, and then they got to clean afterwards. And it's just like really pretty. And sometimes I feel like they need that here.
Japan, well, let me explain something and then come to Japan. When I moved here, my son uh, completed his high school. My daughter still had to go for 2 more years. So she came and she became a sophomore, and then she graduated. The funny thing is, both of my kids told me that, Dad, don't worry, American education system is very easy for us. I said, how? She said, because we are coming from British education system and it is much more tougher than the American one. I said, okay, we'll cross the bridge once we'll get there. She came here and she started from middle of this class, because we migrated here in March, and she went to school next semester. And it was so easy for her to actually, because my children were from British education system, so they actually had to work hard and harder as compared to here. But I don't know how it works. Maybe they will be answering it better because they are in the system.
Yeah.
Coming to Japan, I think they are out of this world, because what's happening for the past 2 3 soccer World Cup in FIFA is, when there's a match between Japan and any other country, the Japanese spectators, they clean their side of stadium and then go, and it's happening consecutively. And so 100% they are doing something absolutely right in their education system.
Yep. I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, because if you go to a stadium here, you're lucky if you're not sitting in spilt beer or piss. Seriously.
I
It's
have to I
hard.
have to explore this. I haven't been to a stadium here.
Oh my goodness. It's complete chaos. I mean, like my daughter, my youngest, she sang at two Reds games um in the year that I'd went, because the next year it got rained out. And that was the first time I was actually in a baseball stadium. Oh my God, since maybe I was 10. And I just looked around like, oh Lord, there's stuff thrown everywhere. You gotta worry about stepping on stuff, or you know what I mean, the seats. And I'm just like, oh wow. You know? But that's a good thing though, because I always do, like if I go somewhere and I've got like drinks or something or anything, even if I go out to view the bands or something, I end up cleaning the tables and I'm not even working there, you know?
Oh, this is what you do. There's one game that actually attracts me, and I think that I want to learn this, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it, and that's American football. I don't understand what's going on yet, but I by the look of it, by the sound of it, it has attraction. So I'm attracted towards that game. Probably I'm gonna find somebody who will teach me, and I can start enjoying it.
It's a bunch of people running up and down the field with a ball, getting their asses whipped. That's exactly what it is. That's why America loves it.
Exactly. Yeah,
They get their frustration out on the football.
exactly. But for coming from that part of the world, I am still at the stage where I'm figuring out what's the connection between foot and the ball, because they're not using their foot in kicking this ball.
And then Europe calls soccer football, which
Yeah.
throws me off sometimes when somebody will be talking about soccer, but football. And I'm sitting there thinking, what are they talking about? You know, as far as that, I don't recall that. And then it dawns on me, duh. There- Hello. It's the same thing over there. But
Yeah.
American football, they are rough, man. They're
Yeah.
rough.
Yes. Yes.
And I think you'll like that. I don't feel like, well, anymore it seems like college football is more popular than the NFL.
Oh
And
wow.
and the reason why I think it's like that is because the NFL for a certain amount of time, it seems like, and I mean, hopefully they stop. It was all politics, and people, normal everyday people, and people were we're fed up with the politic bullshit, and that's with a lot of people, because right now we can't even tell who the hell's running the country, you know. So, and then they're dragging that into a football game that is supposed to be about the sport.
Yeah.
Why is it political? I mean, if you want to turn it political, then get all the politicians to go down there and play their own game, and let's watch them knock the shit out of each other, and we can all just sit back and drink. you know?
Exactly. That will that will actually be a very cost-effective way of settling down disputes rather than countries going to war with each other. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, put them in a stadium and let them beat each other
Exactly.
up. There you go. I'm on board with that.
Yeah, that will be more cost effective and fun too.
Right. And that's a lot of damn countries. I think we should put, let me see, the little short guy over in North Korea, what's his Kim Yon Jong, whatever his name is. We'll
Yeah,
put him in, we'll put Putin in, we'll put our people in, you know what I mean? And we'll just throw them all in there and we'll just let them beat each other up. And then we don't have to worry about nuclear war, you know?
exactly. Actually there's a funny scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where Captain Jack Sparrow actually says that you guys want to fight all of them just because these two people. I say let them fight and then we can decide.
I just don't get it. I mean, you see so much, and and it's only a couple of the leaders, you know, it's not even all the leaders from these countries. It's a couple, and they've got their egos are way beyond where they need to be. You know, they got to come back to reality because if not, everybody's going to suffer. And
Yeah.
I don't think they realize, you know, and I had brought this up beforehand. If because everybody's like, well, what if America, if they nuke America, you know what I mean? This and that. I'm like, okay, well, why don't you think about this? And maybe this, you know, can put some sense into their heads over in these other countries that talk about wanting to nuke us. If they do drop a nuclear weapon on America, okay, and it hits even around where the volcano is, Yellowstone erupts, it's not going to just be America who dies. It's going to be the whole friggin' world because that is a super volcano. And bye bye to everybody, you know,
Yeah,
everybody in the whole world. It has, and it's not even an asteroid, but that thing can do asteroid level damage.
yeah.
And
So
they don't use the brains
yeah,
when they're
I
th-
think yeah, I have this opinion. I am of this opinion that A, the table is big for everyone to sit down and eat,
right,
no matter where you are. And
right.
secondly, it's never Russia against America or America against China or any other country against any other country. We all live on one planet.
Exactly.
Understand? You can't fight half of your own body. It's like my this hand starts to hit this hand. What I would, yeah, this is for me. It is absurdity.
Yeah.
Sit down on the table, talk, decide, and get this war thing over. It's the most stupid thing humans can do.
And nobody really even knows. I mean, half the time, nobody really even knows why they're fighting
Yeah.
because they're not going to come right out. And I know it's all nuclear, you know, I get it, whatever, it's a money thing, but do they not take into consideration that if some stuff like that does go down and people do get stupid, they're
You know
not
what?
just killing one, they're killing everybody.
You know
Everybody.
what I think. I think for the 10,000 years, we have tried making most of the men head of states in any system. Let's try for 50 years by making all the women head of states important things in the world. Let's give it this shot. Maybe the world turns out very different. So purposely elect all the women on the most senior positions for 50 years and try out this model. Maybe there are a bunch of countries not talking to each other, but at least not fighting,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. You know, and then they can go play football.
Exactly.
And they might need to, who knows? I don't
True.
know. I mean, something's got to give. You think, I mean, we don't want to, according to, I don't know, I'm not trying to get religious, but you know, as far as the world just keeps happening over and over and over, do we really want to keep doing that? You know, can we just stop? Because apparently, after the nuclear war breaks out, everybody dies and then we do it all again. You know, come on, let's
Yeah,
everybody just chill out.
exactly. And the funny thing is, when I was growing up, so my parents are not, uh, you can say, not average Pakistanis,
Mhm.
because my mother is, a writer, a thinker. My stepfather was actually an Arab from Iraq, and he was a political leader in exile. So I didn't had conventional parents. You
Yeah.
know, I had extraordinary parents. I asked them about religion when I was growing up, and they said that we will not give you a god. We will not lend you a god. Go find your own god. The purpose is to become a good human.
Right.
So the way I see religion is, if I respect all the religion and I don't follow any particular religion, I just follow the goodness. If your religion and the end goal of your religion is to make a human a good human, we don't have any disagreement. I am here to get myself better and better every day. And it doesn't matter that what the good idea is coming from where. Any culture, any religion, if something it makes you a better human, I'm adapting that thing.
See, that's how I feel. Well, I'm an ordained minister.
Oh,
And but people are like, "Well, you don't go to church." Okay, I get that. I did that years ago, but I feel like it's more than that. It's more I'm more spiritual, when it comes to things. And I feel like there's more than just what's there, and you can't always fight about everything because you never know.
true.
So
Very
my
true.
the way I think about it is I support everybody. I don't see color when it comes to humans. I don't care if somebody's you know what I mean? I don't care who they're sleeping with. It's none of my business. Let
True.
them do them, and it's just so many people that argue or they're back and forth about it, or, oh, well, it's a religion and it's this and that. Hey, if that makes them happy, leave them the hell alone.
Of course.
And that's with anybody, any race, anything. I don't see that shit. I see the people for who
Yeah.
they are. If
True.
they're shit, then yeah, I'm gonna call them out. You're a shitty human being. But not everybody. You know what I mean? Come on. It's
True.
so annoying. It is. It's annoying.
It's true. You're absolutely right. You're right.
And for people to fight about, well, you're that religion, so I just don't like you. Oh, come on. You know what I mean? What the hell? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I think people should be entitled to believe whatever they want to believe, period.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know?
And the funny thing is, no system or no religion tell you to do bad things. It's the act of individual or a group of people who are acting out these shitty things under the name of something else, and then that something else gets judged for that.
Yeah.
So honestly speaking, it's not even that system that is doing it.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. You've got just so many, and it's not even just in other countries. It's the same thing here in the States. It is because, you've got one Catholic person who did something wrong, and then all of a sudden the whole damn system flops. Or,
Exactly.
somebody who's Christian and did something wrong, and then that whole system flops. And it's just like,
Yeah,
you can't blame the whole world for somebody being stupid.
of course.
I mean, I'll call it like I see it.
That itself is stupidity.
Yeah. For their stupidity, they're blaming everybody in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
Yes.
okay, for instance, we'll do a for instance here. Okay. My son was serving and his squad was over in Budapest. And in Budapest, they can't, I guess, have any kind of weapons when they go into town, but there were two ununiformed Russians that come in and jumped his squad, and they come out and they shot my son.
Oh,
But
right.
those people are under Putin. Putin's the one that's shit. They need to get him out of there for the sake of that country. Get him the hell out of there. you know
Yeah.
and do I hate every single Russian person because my son got shot by one? No, I don't. I'd like to find the person who did shoot my son, but
Yeah.
that's not going to happen. But it was ordered by somebody to do that
True.
you
And
know
also, and the funny thing is, it doesn't matter which country you go in. If you go in and you ask the common person, most of the chances are that they are already fed up with their own rulers.
I
I
know.
haven't met a single guy from any country. who is completely satisfied by the ruling class that are ruling them, in the government or kingdom or anything. No, they're not.
They are, they are. And I mean, the funny part about that with like Russia is, the Ukrainian war or whatever that's going on over there is, if you keep giving Putin that rope, and I'm sorry, now all of those people that his actions affected, they're losing their money, they're losing their businesses, they're losing everything. So they're going to be fed up eventually, and they're going to be the ones to do the job.
They are already.
You know?
They are
And
already. They are
and
already.
then he lies to his people about what's going on. You know,
Especially after COVID, all the governments around the world, including United States, are under tremendous pressure by their people because of inflation and the cost of living and everything. So it's the world is a mess right now.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
I had a conversation with it was a writer on one of the interviews, I believe, or maybe we were off camera when we had the conversation. I think we were off camera when we had the conversation. And we were talking about, what's going on as far as the politicians here in America. And I was like, you sat here and you watch all these refugees, that are coming in, but do they realize while they're coming in that shit is really screwed up here too, and the fact also right now we used to be I mean, I'm not saying we're bad, but we used to be one of the best damn countries in the whole damn world. What the hell was going on? Because right now we're a laughing stock. And
yeah.
I'm really pro-military, everybody knows that, but as far as the politicians, I am done with both parties because I am an independent, and I will be voting for Kennedy because
Oh,
he is an independent.
so I don't have my citizenship yet. I still have to see. So how immigration is. So I thank God that I got the immigration under extraordinary ability. So I'm here under that.
Yeah.
Uh, so it is designed that I have to witness one election and then will be able to vote. So I'm still figuring it out. So two things that I have to figure out is one is the political system and in US.
Mhm.
Then I have my say when I get naturalized and I get my citizenship. And the second is American football. I have to figure these two things out.
Well, if you want to have a good time, see the football. But if you want to laugh at people, then you'll enjoy what's coming this next year as far as the
Do, do,
elections.
do you think do you think from my perspective it's the same entertainment and both the things? It has same entertainment value for me.
It's just crazy because I mean, right now we're getting laughed at. We are. I mean, and it's everybody else, everybody who's voting, it's their own faults. Because I mean, look, we don't exactly have two good people there to vote from, So me, when I vote, I've always been a swing voter anyway, because I'll listen to what somebody says in the interest for the people versus how much money they're going to get from everybody. I want to see who's going to do what that's best. And right now, my money isn't with either one of them. And I've even jumped onto Kennedy's campaign trail, and because I like what he has to say. Granted, I get there's always going to be an issue with one person, their views, somebody, it's going to make somebody mad. But what people need to stop and think about is what is really best for this country right now. You
Well,
know,
on a lighter and a funny note, when I migrated here, I'm single. I'm single for the past like 3 4 years. And I am expecting that whenever I will find a girl, so I came here single in California. So, and I have a film company now, and I'm a director and a cinematographer. And the two things that I'm expecting from my possible girlfriend is to teach me the politics and teach me how to play American football so I can enjoy the game.
hey, didn't I tell you what? I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure LA, I don't think there are maybe too many women football fans. I don't know. There could be, I
I'm
haven't
in
been there.
Orange County. I'm in Orange County.
Oh, okay. So you're down towards Anaheim.
I am down. I am right next to Irvine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
lived in Anaheim, God, for 6 months when I was young, but I grew up in Vegas, and then my family was from back here, so it kind of moved back, you know. But I guess there are so many things that are different everywhere. Like you go to California, they do stuff one way. You go to Vegas, it's a whole different way. Then you go down to Florida, it's a different way. You know, it's
yeah.
just everybody's different. But the women in the Midwest, I will tell you this, we are firecrackers. We do
That's
love
okay.
sports.
Uh,
You
that's
know,
nice. That is nice.
politics, the women are just pretty much over it, you know, along with a lot of the guys, but we're over it.
America is literally new world for me. Let me tell you a funny story that how I accidentally came to America. I never had any active intention in my life to come to America. I came here by an accident. I was filming a TV show that was is based on a book, a very, very hot cake book that the writer of that novel actually won a presidential award for writing that book. It was so famous. It
Wow.
is so famous. I was commissioned to make that television project, and the book is actually broken into two parts. First part occurs in Pakistan. The second part, so it's a modern adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. Let's put it this way.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
Juliet dies in middle of the story, and then Romeo actually migrates to Britain, and he resumes his education and goes to Oxford University to get his master's. And then what he sees is somebody actually walking exactly like the Juliet, but she's a different person. But she is 100% resembles the same girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and the story has multiple conflicts. So the Romeo is actually enlightened, Western cultured, influenced, non-religious guy, but the Juliet is daughter of a clergyman, very poor, very conservative. So there are multiple layers of uh, friction and conflict in this story. And for a very silly reason, the protagonist got denied for the UK visa. And this we couldn't understand that why he got denied, because this guy is popular and the internet is full of it. And their temperatures were very high because a lot of was on stake and everything. And then in that couple of days of this problem, he said, I have a work permit for America. We can go and film in America. And everybody started cursing him because the book doesn't say that the guy goes to America. Book says he goes to UK. And we were getting I got the work permit to go and film the series in UK. And now I can't go without the lead actor. So we actually converted the entire thing to America. And
Wow.
I came by an accident. Before 2016, the only two, three things that I knew about America is there's a White House and there's a president that sits in the White House. There- There's a B&H that is in New York that sells camera. It's a camera store. And the second thing is there's an Universal Studios in LA. That's it. And I never had any intention of coming to America. If it hadn't been that particular show, I wouldn't have came to America ever.
Wow.
Ever. No friends, no family, no ties, not even an active wish list or bucket list that I want to go and see America. For me, that part did not existed. Although that it is very common for an average or above average Pakistani to have a second citizenship of either Australia or Canada or America or Britain. It's very common. But
Mhm.
I never had that urge. When I was sent to film that show in America, as a supervisor only, and I landed in Miami to catch a flight going to Houston, because Houston has a lot of Pakistani and Indian community, and all the television actors, they are very famous in India also. The team, because I told you that Pakistan's television
Mhm.
dominates the entire region, so there are a lot of Indian Indian fans who watch our television shows and they actually like it and praise it.
Yeah.
And when I get out of the plane to catch my connecting flight, and I saw people on the airport, there's something inside of me that said, "You belong here."
Mhm.
Didn't know what to do, how to do. And I was part of the project for like more than a month. And then there's a veteran actor from Pakistan. He was a very, very renowned actor in the 90s. Think of Robert De Niro, of
Yeah.
that age, of that style of acting and everything. And we finished the show, and I built a very strong association with that guy. And I had to catch a flight and go back after 3 days. And I said to him that, and he moved to America in 1990s, left everything and moved here. And I said that I actually like this place. And he smiled and he said, "I knew about it, that you're gonna come and you're gonna like it here." And I said, "I want to live here." He said, "Do you?" I said, "Yes, but I don't know how." He actually got up from his chair, gave a kiss to my forehead, and said that you have been so kind and so respectful to me that as a father figure, I want to gift something to you. And I said, "What?" He said that there is a way that you can actually migrate to America. And I know for sure that you will qualify in that category. And that was extraordinary ability, which is known as EB1A. Go back, I'm gonna give you a lawyer, apply for this category, and if and I am 100% sure that you're gonna qualify for this and you're gonna move to America. And seriously, I actually applied it, got approved, and moved here under the category. This is how I'm here.
Wow.
I'm
That
just following I'm just following that voice inside of me said that I belong here.
the story you were referring to, it almost, it kind of reminded me of Bram Stoker's Dracula, sort of, where his wife, ends up dying, and then Winona Ryder came back, that kind of jumped in my head when you were talking about the Romeo and Juliet. I was like, that kind of sounds familiar. I like that version of the movie, I don't know why. There's a lot of people that put that movie down, but I like it. I like the movie, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I mean, that is funny though, the way things happen, because you never know.
So the funny part is this is half of the story that I told you, that that the voice came inside of me and said something in 2016. Actually, it started in 2013. 2008, I directed a show for Pakistan, which actually changed the way Pakistani television is actually done. So I became kind of a wonder boy in 2008 and 2009 by that show, because of that show. And after the first episode was broadcasted, uh, the entire industry wanted to film the way I filmed that show. And that actually gave me an opportunity to make the movie which started the second wave of cinema in Pakistan. So I directed a feature length film which was internationally released in 2013, which not only was the first ever sports film of Pakistan, it was first ever digital film of Pakistan. It actually started the second wave of cinema in Pakistan, and I had the honor to direct that film.
Wow.
Yeah. And right after that, we started the movie in 2011, 12, 13. It got released 2000, later half of 2013, 14, and 15. I was commissioned the biggest ever show in Pakistan's history, uh, in terms of financial, as in terms of money, budget, in terms of production design. That show actually was the most expensive show that ever got filmed in Pakistan. It was the show that introduced the production design element in Pakistan in television. It also introduced the Rembrandt lighting in Pakistan for the television show mainstream. And that during that show, we were supposed to film uh, a sequence in a cemetery, and I reached the cemetery where we had the fake grave, set up for filming before my crew. So the director was on location before the crew and actors actually got there. And I called them and I said, "Why? Where are you guys?" They said, "Oh, we are on our way, and this happened and that happened. You know, the usual production stuff." So they told me either I go back and come back again when the crew is there, or I can stay there. So I said them, "There's no point of me going back. I'm gonna just wait here for you guys to see to come, and I will, do the location scout because I haven't seen where you guys has marked the grave." So I went there, I saw the grave, it was fine for the filming standard, and I sat down on that near the grave and I was waiting for my film crew. And that day, although that my career was not like going this, my career was going like this, you know. I was the best thing at that time. The entire Pakistan knew about me. I just released a film called Main Hu Shahid Afridi, which means I am Shahid Afridi, based on a cricketer. So we come from a cricketing world, right? Because of the British. So my film actually had the cricketer star Shahid Afridi. He did the cameo appearance. So that was the biggest project of that time. And I was filming the biggest television project at that time. And something inside of me said on that day in the cemetery, I don't belong here. And I said, what? Well, and I was puzzled about it. And this was 2013, right? Or beginning of 2014. And that thought actually went by, and I started filming and I did countless of television show after that and projects and this and that. And in 2016, when I landed in Miami, the same voice actually said, I belong here. So the sentence was completed. You do not belong here, you belong here.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that sometimes where I'll go to a place, and I just feel like, man, this feels like home. And I think it's that way for me right now with Florida or islands, anywhere like that.
Yeah.
And that feels more like home
Yeah.
than home, you
Yeah.
know? So,
There's a there's a very funny quote, very deep quote actually, that I the other day I was reading, and this is by an Egyptian writer called Najib Mahfouz. He actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he won Pulitzer Award or Nobel Peace Prize Award for literature in something. His Najib Mahfouz, his name is. He's an Egyptian writer. He said that home is not where you are born. Home is that part of the world from when you are there, all uh, the wish to escape from there, it diminishes.
yeah.
If you don't feel like moving somewhere else, that's your home. And this is what I feel about California. I don't want to go anywhere from here. I
Yeah.
think this is my home.
Yeah. And I love anything Egyptian. I just picked up a project that
Oh, nice.
is based on that. I won't go into it right here because we're recording, but afterwards I'll tell you a little bit about it. And it's really cool. I've always been obsessed with Egyptian stuff, Egypt, the whole thing. I've never been there,
I have
but,
been there.
you know,
I've
and
been there. Yeah.
really, see, my neighbor over here, her sister's in the armed forces, and she actually was just there for a whole year. They sent the reserves over for a year. I'm also trying to get a double citizenship because I'm trying to get dual citizenship to Italy.
Oh.
And but proving, getting the documentation from Ellis Island, that is like a pain in the ass because you can never get them people on the phone. I have
I,
tried
I think
many
I
times.
think there's a program. It may be right or may be wrong, but there's a program in some part of Italy where there are a lot of old houses, and they sell you the place for $1 if you are willing to renovate it and fix it and live there.
Yep. Oh, I would. I'd buy like 5, 6, 7, whatever. I don't care because I would just love. I've
Yeah.
actually, because yesterday was my daughter's birthday. And
Happy.
I told her, I was like, we're gonna do something a little different this year because usually she has everything she needs. And there's only so many things you can buy for your kid,
Right.
and I told her, "Yeah, I'm ready to do experiences. I mean, we've taken vacations. So I was looking at cruises and I was like, well, we could do that. And then I got looking at, Europe, Italy, the Maldives, you know what I mean? And I'm like, or we can do that. So I told her yesterday, I was like, we can either go and take the cruise on spring break, or we can wait until summer and go to Europe, and do some of the things over there in different places over there.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait. I cannot wait because I'm just dying to go over and explore. I
Same here.
really can't.
Same here.
I already see most of America. I'm good. I'm ready
Oh,
to.
I need to do this. I actually want to go. I want to travel from East Coast to West Coast in a car, you know, exploring all the places because I would love to go and see, discover America in true form.
You would have fun. You would. I mean, there are some really, really cool places if you decide to do that to check out. I know in Kentucky they have Mammoth Cave, and that is supposed to be really, really cool. I haven't even been there, and I live around here, you know what I mean? And then there was oh my God, there are just so many things, so many different places that you could go. Like,
I I'm more sort of a person who would love to go and see the sights, but actually I'm more sort of a person who would love to go and meet people.
yeah, yep.
I I find fun in meeting people, understanding different people, understanding the differences, appreciating the differences, asking them why do you do this thing like this and not like this, and then they tell you, the effectiveness or how it works better for them. And it is so much to learn from different cultures and different people. Honestly speaking,
So you're a people person like me. And I like that too because one time I went to Florida. Okay, well, did the cruise thing, and then I went to Siesta Key. We were sitting there. They had a drum circle. Well, this guy, this homeless man, he had approached, and he had beer. I had food. It was an equal trade. So fed him, and I didn't even know about the drum circle that they were going to do there on the beach. So I'm sitting there drinking, having a conversation, eating a meal, whatever. I did not care because
yeah,
this man, he was, ex-military. He had some awesome stories.
of
I was
course,
highly entertained. And
yeah.
me, I talk to everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. I can be in a grocery store. It doesn't matter. I talk to everybody. So being a people person, yes.
Yeah. So my entire individuality of what I do, what I love, and what I'm passionate about, it revolves around humans.
Yeah.
I love doing photography, and I'm in absolutely in love with the human art form, and in the women art form. Actually, I love photographing women. I love doing portraits. I love telling stories of human, and I enjoy the company of humans. This is who I am. I'm a storyteller. I
Mhm.
don't want to go without a human to even a good landscape thing. I
Yeah.
want to have the best company with the best view. Yeah.
I agree.
So this is what I do. Yeah.
Some people, I mean, they just, I think it's funny when people are like, oh, they're stuck up, or they think, just because they look at you, they don't know you, haven't even said hi, bye, nothing, and they're like, oh, you're stuck up, and that's what they think. But then when I start going, I just start going.
Yeah. I think any sort of animosity, even in the slightest or the remotest way, is only because you are not understanding, you don't know the other person. If
Yeah,
you start knowing them, then even how absurd thing they are saying, you're going to actually understand their point of view, and you're going to say, well, the guy has a point, or this person has a point, because
mhm,
he's looking at the world like this, or he has been conditioned like this, or he went through a trauma like this, so it's very natural to be the way he is or she is.
yeah,
So that animosity can only exist if you don't know the person.
I agree. I agree. And then that takes us all the way back to where we were. If they have issues, you throw them in a stadium. Let them get it out that way.
Seriously, yeah.
I think that idea we got right there is just brilliant. It is
Yeah.
brilliant. Now we just need to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so the problem of the North Korean leader is that he wants to remain the king. Give him an island. Say you have an island. You're a king here. Let the people
Bye.
go. Exactly. So you are restored. People are saved from famine and all, and we don't have any conflict.
I agree. No, we put him and Putin on there.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
bye.
And yeah, today I was hearing in the news that he actually fired he did a missile test which was violating, certain things, and I started busting into laughter because it is just like you have a firecracker and you're a 5-year-old kid and you want to go out and play with it.
The sparklers.
Exactly. Yeah. But on a massive scale, and you actually can harm a lot of people. But it's the same stupidity.
People, oh my God. Yeah, that would be it. I mean, maybe instead of giving them the bigger fireworks, we just start them off with a sparkler and let
Yeah,
them enjoy that,
exactly.
on their cruise. Bye, everybody.
Seriously.
I mean, I agree. I'm on the same level you are. And I know there's so many people out there that are on that same level, but man, it's all going to take, it's going to be up to the people that actually put them in that position, you
Yeah.
know,
Seriously.
anymore.
Yeah.
But the good thing over here is we've got the power to take them out of that position, which is awesome because
Yeah.
there's people that just really should
But
not.
with but with power comes responsibility. With authority comes responsibility.
Yeah. Well,
You
the people who are in power here aren't very responsible at all. I'm telling you,
yeah.
I'd probably have a better shot, at watching my 16-year-old run the country anymore. It's just like,
So this election, this US election will be so much fun for me to watch because I'm not invested emotionally in either side. So it's the same entertainment value for me, and then I'm gonna go and whatever
oh,
side
you're
wins.
gonna love it. And
Yeah,
I can tell you this right now. I mean, just because you're like on the outside looking inside, and
exactly.
it's gonna get interesting, I can tell you, because you've got Trump, then you've got Biden, and we don't know where Biden is, and he don't even know where the hell he is half the time, and then Trump doing his own little thing or whatever. But then you've got, and that's why I just feel like Kennedy right now is the best shot we've got at anything because those two are so loco, you know, they just they need out. Let them go, let them both go and bring somebody else in. But when they start, and you'll see it when it starts going on TV, when they're this shit and scandal and this and that, and it's just like, here we go. And I've had this conversation with so many people about okay, and I'm not saying, that well, really, I don't really care about that. But okay, Trump, when Trump was going through it with Biden the last election, and he made this comment with it was him and some buddies, and they're talking about grab her by the pussy. You know what I mean? Okay. And then you've got women that are coming forward. Okay. And I grew up with 8 brothers, 8. And there's nothing that I have not heard. And women are just as bad. So, and I'm going to say it to women. Yeah, we are just as bad. You all know it. Stop it. Stop it. It was locker room talk. Who cares what the hell he said? You know what I mean? Who cares? They blew it out of proportion,
Yeah,
that he said this and that. Who gives a shit? Because I guarantee right now there's a bunch of women sitting down at a bar somewhere, like with guys walking in or whatever, what judging the same guys or making the same remarks. And I can say that because I am a woman and I am a woman who will say it, you know.
true.
So don't act like men are any different than women because that is bullshit. And it's going to come out, but you can't hold it against that person for something that they didn't know was recorded. And who cares if it was recorded? Because
Yeah,
women are no better.
yeah,
I get it, they're not. And that's what really pisses me off about, like, we were talking about the comedy thing, the comedy anymore. Nobody could be, have fun anymore because everybody's got a stick up their ass.
yeah.
Where's the comedy anymore? Oh, I'm offended. I'm offended. Oh my God, it's a joke. Cry me a friggin' river. You know,
Now, now imagine how much fun I'm having by looking all of this as a spectator with a popcorn and a, and a soda.
I'm telling you what, I might just I have to join you on that one. Like, okay. I mean, it just gets so old. And I know that women, we've fought to be equal to men. I get it, but damn, you can't sit there and bitch about everything, everything, and it's the same with the men. Oh, well, women this, and now we can't do this and we can't make comments. But yeah, women are not going to ever admit that they're doing it too, and I think it's just time for everybody to chill the hell out.
Yeah,
Chill out. Let's bring back comedy, back when shit was funny,
yeah,
and let's leave politics out of the bullshit. Who cares? Let us do our jobs. We're
yeah.
not here to boast about, what politicians we want or this and that. We're here to do a friggin' job, and that's what we need to do. And I
Sure.
mean, even people, they can't even be entertained anymore that aren't in the entertainment industry because they're afraid if they laugh at something that somebody's going to look at them like, for real. You know what I mean? One of those type things.
Sure.
And that's the shit that just needs to stop.
Yeah, well, I on this, I would do like to add that I'm very respectful for everyone's feeling. I don't want to offend anyone, but then again, yes, life goes on, and you need to laugh around even at your pain, because this is how you survive.
Right. I mean, if you can't have a good time while you're here, then what the hell?
Exactly.
Seriously. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and worry about what comes out of my mouth. I have no filter. I don't. And I don't filter anybody who does these interviews. I refuse to because everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Everybody's entitled to their own thoughts. And I'm not going to filter myself. I'm
Sure.
not. And if somebody gets offended, oh, well, that's your issue, not mine, and I just get so tired of watching, people can't have a good time anymore because they have to worry about every little thing, every little thing. And it's the same way even with, when you'll get your kick next year, trust me. And it's going to be the same thing. Well, they said this, and it's going to be all over again. I guarantee that gets brought up again. They're going to use that again, but women need to get it, even if they haven't grown up with brothers, which I have, you know, we're no better. We're no better. Stop. Stop it. You know what I mean? Stop it. Let's just all go back to having a good time,
True.
versus, oh, I'm offended. I just don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm just an equal opportunity type person.
This is the best way. Yeah, this is the best way
That's
to do.
right. I
Yeah.
am going to close us up though, and I am going to thank you for coming on. This has been hella fun. I love it.
You for having me, and thank you, our common friend Rick Witzel.
Oh,
And
yes. Right.
he has, yeah. So I met him in 2018. The
Mhm.
first time when I came to California in 2018, I met him, and he just showered so many praises about my work, everything, that I couldn't believe that I'm sitting in, so far away in a land and different land, and this guy has actually seen my work, and he knows everything, and he actually uh gave so much context to my work, and the frustration that I was going through, he actually formalized. He said, I can see that you're outgrowing your society. I can feel it, I can see it, that you're gonna be very very uncomfortable where you are. And as a man of experience, he was very right. He saw this in 2018, and I actually moved here in 2022. So I was just, and yeah, and and I am just in awe of that person and his experience and his work in the industry. He's a great man. He's a
He is
great
funny as hell. I'll tell
man.
you something. I'm going to close this out. Everybody, I want to thank you for watching. We appreciate him coming on for sure. And
Thank you
we're
for
going to
having
say bye. See you later.
me.